Hey, welcome back for yoga practice. This morning, I'm going to be responding to requests from our Hunger, Hope, and Healing group participants, specifically those participants who are struggling with what we think of as obsessive thoughts, which is also sometimes called thought looping, where a thought will keep recurring, or it will occupy enough of your mental bandwidth that it's very distracting and pulls you away from being able to give attention to other matters at hand. Often these obsessive thoughts also have tones of anxiety and urgency. They can even feel compulsive and insistent. And usually they're repetitive. So they have a certain tone to them and a certain recurring nature to them. And yet, frequently, the thought itself cannot be solved. It can't be solved in a cognitive sense, even though we might try. It's something that it's not just a mental process, but also a physiological, neurological, energetic process as well. When we think about this through the lens of yoga, Ayurveda, and neurobiology, in yoga practice, we're going to be looking at how balanced is the prana in the body. Prana is a word for life force or for vitality or energy. How balanced is that? And there are 5 main kinds of prana in the body that can get disorganized. And they can become disorganized by the events of daily living. Our society, for example, is not that well balanced, and nor are its citizens. In Ayurveda, we're looking through the lens of the lymph system for helping your body to cleanse or to resolve what it's carrying, what it's holding on to, so that you don't have a backlog or a backup of residue that can end up kind of congesting your whole system. Ayurveda is really focused on that kind of cleansing so that we can help to bring the subtle nervous system, the nadis is what they're called, into balance. And don't be too sort of weirded out by the words Ayurveda or nadis or these kind of subtle yoga terms, because in fact, it's ancient science and it's very profound in understanding that we are influencing and influenced by this internal ecology. Now, with vagal tone, what we're going to be looking at is how we increase vagal tone to support our mental and physical resilience. When we have higher vagal tone, when our system is more clear, like the lymph system, when our prana is balanced, these obsessive thoughts are going to be less recurring. They'll feel smaller. We'll have more leadership over them. And then a cognitive reframe can be actually helpful. It's also quite likely that the obsessive thoughts will start diminishing into the background. And at some point, you might realize that the obsessive thought felt like it had a purpose for you, but you are meeting that purpose. And if that purpose might have been that you would feel more safe, more grounded, more assured, more kind of solid in yourself, that obsessive thought part is going to see that you've actually accomplished that you're living from that place. And instead of having to harass you to, quote unquote, get you there, it's going to calm down. And then it might become, as we sometimes say, like the adorable creature that it once was, versus the sort of porcupine that it seems like it has become when it's constantly kind of poking at you to take action or to pursue a particular thought in the obsessive thought cycles. So let's see what we can do. I want to give you a practice that you can carry with you in the course of a day. So this is going to be like a 15-minute practice to see if this is effective. And let's get started. All right, so please take a comfortable seat. You're welcome to close your eyes and let yourself settle into the present moment. A couple things you might do to help that process. One is that you can run your tongue on the inside of your lips, on the front of your teeth. That's going to generate moisture in your mouth. It's also going to tell the senses related to your tongue that you're right here in the present moment. Another thing you can do is squeeze and release your eyes. I'll do it about 5 times. So again, we're telling the senses that we're right here in the present moment. And now Let yourself recognize any fragrance in the environment, any odor or aroma nearby. And listen for any sounds that are in your environment. And then take notice of any sensations on the skin of your body, like where your glasses are touching your face, or your clothing, or your hair, the temperature of the room that you're in. Now we're going to do that one more time so that you get familiar with it. So run your tongue along the inside of your lips, the front of the teeth. And then swallow. Squeeze the eyes 5 times. You might feel that there's moisture coming back into the eyes. That's also good. Allow for that. Acknowledge any fragrance. The sound. And the physical sensations on the skin of your body. And so you've given yourself like a little GPS, a way to get grounded, present, and stable. Now we'll do a breathing practice that starts initiating a cleansing action. These are called kriyas in yoga. So this breath practice is 10 brisk breath cycles through both nostrils. It's called a blowing off technique. And after 10 breath cycles, we'll inhale and hold for a moment. And then we're going to exhale to release. We'll do it together. Beginning when you're ready, at about the kind of pace that you're going to see me do. Now inhale slowly. And then as you hold the breath, bring your chin down and in towards your throat. Lift your heart up towards your chin. You're kind of making the breath brighter in the chest, and then you're going to be releasing the chin, the throat, the heart, and exhale slowly. Allow yourself to momentarily and yet deeply relax. Now we're going to repeat that. So it's 10 breath cycles. Let's begin. And then inhale slow. And hold. Release the chin and the heart, and then exhale completely, but without forcing. That with just your left nostril and then just your right nostril. So in yoga, we say there are these subtle nervous systems, and one is in the left hemisphere of the body, one is in the right hemisphere of the body. So they're called Ida and Pingala. So you're going to bring the right hand up like this and use the right thumb to close the right nostril. And then you'll have this brisk exhale, inhale through the left side only. And then we'll close the left nostril with the ring finger, and we'll do the other side. And then we'll inhale through both sides of the nose. We'll hold again and we'll exhale to release. Okay, so close the right nostril. Okay, switch. Now inhale both nostrils. And then hold. And exhale slowly and completely without forcing anything about the breath. And again, you might sense that there's energy in your face or near to the neocortex, and particularly in the midline. We have a midline structure in the brain, and it helps us to focus, to center on our individual goals and aims. And we're going to repeat that also. So bring the right hand up, and don't worry if your breathing makes noises. This is for your benefit. So don't worry if there's a noise that comes with the breath. Okay. 10 times on the left and then 10 times on the right. Switch. And then inhale slowly. And hold. And exhale slowly, completely, and without forcing. Okay, now we're going to add some practices for vagal tone, and this comes into also balancing the hemispheres of your brain and centering once more in that midline structure that you get to be a priority on your own radar screen. So what we're going to be doing with the eyes closed, we're going to inhale, slide the gaze to one side, bring it back to the center with the exhale, and we'll be switching. And so the eyes are closed as you're moving the eyes, and you're moving to the distance that you can go. And then you're gently coming back. And each time you're doing it, try to pace the movement of the eyes with the smooth pace of your breathing. We'll also include up and down. Okay? Then we're going to be adding a twist to this. So when you do the twist, I'll just explain for you now so we can go consecutively in the practice. You'll be twisting to your right, okay? And then your head is going to be turning in the twist. And as we're turning, you're going to hear me say, for example, exhale, turn your head to the right. Now inhale, take your gaze farther to the right than your head goes. And then exhale, turn your head to the left. And inhale, turn your gaze farther to the left than your head goes. Okay, so let's get warmed up with the eyes. Then we'll take it into the twist. You're welcome to close your eyes now. And with an inhale, slide your gaze to your right. Smooth exhale, bring your gaze back to center. Smooth exhale, gaze to your left. Smooth exhale, back to center without any rushing. Inhale, gaze right. Exhale, glide to center. Inhale, gaze left. Exhale, glide to center. Inhale, gaze up, keeping the eyes closed. Exhale to center. And then inhale, gaze down, keeping your eyes closed. Inhale to center. Now cross your left hand over your right knee. Place your right hand behind you, and as you twist to your right, gaze to your right with your eyes closed, but turn your head to your right. Now exhale, rotate only your head to your left. And then inhale, gaze left a little farther. Exhale, turn your head to your right. Inhale, gaze to your right with the eyes closed. Exhale, rotate your head to your left as far as it comfortably goes, keeping your twist to the right with your torso. Inhale, your gaze to your left. Exhale, turn your head to your right. And one more time, inhale, gaze to your right. And then exhale and come around to center. Allow yourself to relax. There's a recalibration going on. You can trust in your brain and your body to know how to do that. Now cross your right hand over your left knee, twist to your left. And as you twist, go ahead and turn your head to your left as far as it goes comfortably. And then exhale, turn only your head to your right. Keep your twist to the left with your torso. And inhale, gaze to your right, eyes closed. Exhale, turn your head to your left. Inhale, gaze to your left. Exhale, turn your gaze to your right. Inhale, gaze further to the right than your head can go. Exhale, rotate your head to your left. And one more time, inhale, gaze to your left. And exhale, come around to face forward. And again, there's a recalibration going on, so be patient with yourself in the process. As you do this sequence, when I'm not instructing you or having these little breaks for information, it's going to be a shorter sequence that you'll be able to do on your own. So now we're going to add a little complexity, and I'm going to ask you to notice if it gets challenging. That would be a sign that we can improve your concentration and your attention. So what we'll do here is you'll have turned your gaze with the eyes closed. We're going to tip the head with the gaze still going the direction it was. When we come back up, you're going to level your gaze to the side that it was still going while the head is leveling, and then we'll relax. We'll do the other side after that. So close your eyes, and let's inhale, gaze to your right. Keeping that exhale, tip your left ear towards your left shoulder. Inhale, keep your gaze to the right. Exhale, float your head up to center while you're still gazing to your right. That's the complex part. And then rest in the center. Inhale, gaze left. Exhale, tip your right ear down as you're gazing left. It's on a diagonal towards the ceiling a little bit. And then you're going to inhale, keeping that. And exhale, bring your head up as you keep your gaze to your left. And relax in the center. Now again, inhale, gaze right. Exhale, tip your left ear down. This is nourishing your vagus nerve, so stick with it. Inhale, your gaze to the right. Exhale, float your head up to center. And then let your gaze rest to center. Inhale, gaze left. Exhale, tip your right ear down. Inhale as you're still gazing to your left. And then exhale, level your head while keeping your gaze left. And then relax in the center. Again, you're going to recalibrate, so notice what's happening for yourself. Now we're going to do a little practice for the lymph system, and then this will close this particular kind of practice. So since you may be doing this practice in daily life somewhere where you're actually sitting, like I'm sitting right now, let's do this from sitting. You could also do it standing if you wanted to. Reach back and interlace your fingers at the small of your back, and then squeeze the shoulders back towards the wall behind you. Okay, if you're able to do that comfortably, that's great. If it's hard to clasp your hands, please don't worry about it. We're now going to take both hands over to the left outer waist or left hip. And then try to keep your right hand at the side waist, and perhaps you're going to hold your left elbow with your right hand. Perhaps you can't reach it, and so instead you're going to be holding, maybe you'll put a yoga strap in your hand and hold that, right? So keeping your arm behind here is to temporarily close this lymph portal, and we're going to be doing that so that when we release it, you're going to have the release of energy from this area. So now tip your left ear towards your left shoulder. Bring your chin in towards your throat. So you're going to feel the right side of your neck maybe getting a pretty good stretch there. And I'm going to ask you to move your chin from your right collarbone towards your left shoulder, and you're going to go back and forth a couple times. Okay, so inhale when the chin is towards the right collarbone. Exhale, turn your chin towards your left shoulder. Inhale to your right collarbone. Exhale towards your left shoulder. And once more, inhale towards your right collarbone. And exhale towards your left shoulder. Okay, release your right arm, let it dangle, float your head up to center, and take notice. So there might be some feeling like of draining, perhaps even from your ear or the throat here, and then down into your shoulder. Take your right arm out to the side. Use your left hand like a fist, and we're going to do this kind of pressure in the armpit and the shoulder. This is for your lymph system. Also good for breast health, that you can keep your lymph system healthy, right? It should not be congested or clogged up. And you're going to be using this tapping to come in. So each time I'm going out to the shoulder and then back to the sternum. Okay, and then come up here where just above the collarbone and in this region of the shoulder. And then little taps with your fingers up along the side of your neck, just behind your ear. Okay, and let's let that one go for the moment and take your right hand. Okay, and we're going to be just sweeping underneath the jawline, asking the lymph system. You also have this in your face, right? So under the jawline, asking it to head towards this exit pathway that you've just been clearing, and then go across your face from the center line. Yep, and you can take off your glasses if you want to, and you're just asking with a very light touch. And then on your forehead also. So you're inviting the lymph to be moving towards its exit pathway. Then let the right arm dangle down, and see if you can notice the difference even at this moment between the right side of your face, right shoulder, right arm. Okay, now clasp your hands, take them over to the left side, right? And then you can hold your right elbow with your left hand, or you can hold onto a yoga strap. And tip your right ear towards your right shoulder, bring your chin towards your left collarbone. Okay, now breathing in. Exhale, glide your chin towards your right shoulder. Inhale towards your left collarbone. And exhale, glide to your right. And do that a couple times more. So as we're doing this, you're asking for the muscles of the neck and the throat to also become more supple. And you might have some tight muscles. You might have the sensations of tight muscles. It's not uncommon. And it doesn't make you a good person or a bad person, whatever's going on there. Let's release the left arm and let it dangle down. Now take the left arm out to the side, make your right hand into a fist. It's like a personal reset. You're doing some self-care, and it's deeper than you might realize because the limb system is something that maybe you don't have it on your radar screen in a daily way, but it's very important. And so activating this sort of like clearinghouse channel right in here, and then come from your shoulder over to your sternum. And then come up to this region here, just like tapping. And then take the fingers. Or perhaps these are the most well-known lymph glands because when we sense that they've become swollen, we're like, oh, I guess they do have something going on. But the lymph is more than just here at the side of your neck, right? Come up. And then take your left hand and we're going to brush across just really lightly, it's like a gesture of kindness going underneath the jawline. And then from the center line of your face, as if you're asking the lymph now to move and know which direction to go, and you don't have to be forceful. These can be very light gestures. So you can brush it to suggest the movement. And then again, rest, pause. We'll finish with one yoga cleansing practice called Nadi Shodhana, and then let's check and see how the obsessive thoughts feel to you at that time. Let me get this. So when you do this kind of practice for yourself, I have hair in my eye, excuse me. When you do this kind of practice for yourself, it's going to be a condensed version because you'll get the muscle memory for it. You'll start sensing, okay, what do I do next? And you can also do portions of it until you feel a bit better. We're going to finish with Nadi Shodhana because it kind of wraps things together for everything that we've just been doing. In this practice, we inhale through one nostril. We start on the left. This is my left, your right. We're going to exhale through the right, and then we'll inhale through the right, and we'll go slowly from side to side. We switch the breath after the inhale into the other nostril. And so what's happening when you inhale left nostril, the right brain is getting nourished. When you exhale right nostril, you're kind of relaxing your left brain. When you inhale right nostril, you're nourishing the right brain. And when you exhale left nostril, you're calming the right brain. Now, why would this be important? What we're nourishing during the inhale to the right brain is our capacity for awe and timelessness, the sense that the time-space continuum has kind of evaporated. We also experience that in doing, let's say, artwork or gardening or meditation. So we're nourishing that capacity. When we're inhaling on the right nostril, we're nourishing the left brain's capacity for leadership and pragmatism and logic. It organizes things. When we exhale through the right nostril, we're calming the left brain's insistence on its critical nature. The left brain is trying to manage the anxiety that it perceives in the right brain. When we're exhaling through the left nostril, we're quieting the anxiety of the right brain. Right? So the right hemisphere has this capacity for awe and timelessness, but also for anxiety, fear, terror, and dread. It can be perceived as sort of moody or dark, emotional. The left brain has a capacity for logical thinking, for being linear and pragmatic, but it can also become made anxious by what it senses in the right brain and is trying to explain you to yourself, and can become hypercritical and insistent and anxious. It has its own way of broadcasting that anxiety in some of these obsessive thoughts. Now, there's more to say about why your right brain is holding that anxiety, fear, trauma, dread, terror, all those things, and why the left brain forms like that, but that's for a different discussion. It has to do with your pre-verbal development, and then what happens when you come into your verbal capacity, your language capacity, and how that starts shaping your self-sensing identity system even more. But that is another conversation, so look for that here on the YouTube channel. Okay, so let's do the practice, and then we'll see how it feels to have had this full spectrum process this morning. So take your right hand. Okay, to take your glasses off. Now gently close the right nostril and inhale left side only. And then close the left and exhale right side. Of course, you're going to go at your own pace. I'm a very practiced yogi, and I do have a longer breath cycle than the average person. And you're going to inhale right side. Then you'll switch and exhale left side at your pace. Continue for several more breath cycles, switching only after each inhale. Finish with your next exhale through the left nostril. And then release your right hand back to your left. And as you sit quietly, go inside, and the place in you that is wiser and more knowing than the obsessive thought. Picture yourself being able to use any in-breath today, any inhale, to come back into this inner wisdom and knowing. Imagine yourself being able to use any exhale to release an obsessive thought. Noticing kind of the outcome or the echo of your practice, particularly on the quality of your mind and your sense of personhood, that you are not those thoughts that you're having. Those thoughts are happening, but those thoughts don't define you. Those thoughts aren't you. You are more than those thoughts, sensing all of this in yourself. Please raise your hands to your heart. And thank you so much for participating, for practicing with me. Do let me know if you have any questions by leaving a comment below the video. And don't forget to like the video so it gives me feedback, and subscribe to the channel so you'll get notifications for whenever there is a new practice that gets released. Thank you, everyone. Namaste.